It's been over a year now since the DWI first started. So many memories, so many good times, so many bad times, and it all seems to go by so quickly. It's finally come down to this. 3 days. Just 72 hours until the DWI puts on its final performance. It's been a great ride, guys. Some of the most fun that I've had in the last year, and I just wanted to say it again. Thanks for the memories. I'm not sure where the road goes on from here, but I'm looking forward to it. I gotta say that I really enjoyed the Shenanigan anniversary. It was nice to be a part of it. And I'll congratulate our, special guest in the Shenaniganza for the victory and offer a little advice. Next time, try to keep a better lookout for the reach rounds, okay? Yeah. What can I say, Triple H? You did exactly what I hoped you would do. You know, a lot of people probably think that I'm pretty mad over the fact that I didn't win the match, but to be honest, there was a bigger point to getting you in the ring than just trying to get a victory. Clearly, we don't see everything the same way, and given our recent history, it's kind of hard to communicate certain things with just words. There's just certain things that fighters like us can only really express to each other in the middle of combat. And after that match, I feel like I know you a lot better now, Triple H. And I think I can say with all honesty that on that night, I was in the ring with the real you. And for that, I thank you. And now that I've finally gotten that off of my chest, I can honestly say that I'm ready for the finale. When I haven't been called on for 24/7, I've spent a lot of my time here, training, meditating, and I find myself admitting that in a lot of ways, RD, you and I are alike. We're not carbon copies of one another, but there's certainly a similarity in how we discipline ourselves, in the way we ready our minds and our bodies for the tests that we face. You had a lot of nerve coming out and interfering in my match with the game. With all the history that he and I have, with all the unfinished business we had, you come out and interject yourself. You lay me out with RDKO after RDKO, and you and the game leave me bloodied and beaten in the middle of the ring. That's good, RD. That's very good. You see, that's exactly what I want to see out of you. You see, I watched your promo where you talked about the burden that's been put on your shoulders. Well, we all know about the champion's burden, RD. Winning a championship's one thing, but it doesn't make the road any straighter. When you're a champion, it's like having a bullseye right on your head. There's a lot of hungry competitors out there that want to put their name in the history books. It's only natural that it only gets harder. At first, when I was listening, I started wondering if I was sensing regret from you. That maybe the pressure was getting to be too much. I was starting to worry that you might be starting to lose something. That's something that helped to push you to the top. That's something that you and I, in my opinion, share the most of all. That resolve, RD. That driving force that pushes us back on our feet when we get knocked down. That force that pushes us to get better, to get stronger, faster, and more focused with every match. I want you to be at your best at the finale, RD. Better than you've ever been your whole career. I want you to push past your limits and be the champion that you're meant to be. At Weevolution, I disappeared, and I found myself in a very dark place. A place that I hope none of you ever have to find yourselves in, no matter what I might think of you. I fought my way out of a place worse than hell itself. But along the way I discovered a lot of things. I also learned a lot about myself. As dark and as cold as it was enlightening as well. And when I returned, I came face to face with the dark side of my soul, made manifest by the Brotherhood and by Pandora. A lot of people know him as Big, but I came to know him by another name. Pride. The pride of the Brotherhood. There's still a whole lot about that ordeal that hasn't been explained. I don't know why it was me that was chosen for what they were planning to do, but all I really know is, in the end, it wasn't really a question as to which of us was real. We were both real, one and the same, but at the same time separate. They say that there are two wolves that live inside each of us, one that's good and one that's evil. In a way, I guess the two of us represented that ideology in a literal sense. In the end, we both came to discover that regardless of our differences, we needed each other in order to exist. I had to acknowledge that he was a part of me, or I really couldn't acknowledge that I existed. So we did battle one last time, and as we came together, I could now finally say with clarity that I am whole. You mentioned bringing something back with you when you came back, RD, and whether you believe me or not, I know what it is that you're talking about. I'm not blind. I've been watching what's been going on. I've seen the signs, but I've also sensed it. Maybe it's because of my dealings with the darkness, but I can feel it. And I know that you're intimately familiar with it. I think we both know what it wants. It may be looking to come after you, or maybe it's looking for a little opportunity. You're not alone, RD, and if necessary, you have my support, and we'll deal with this together if we have to. I was a little surprised when you asked me if this was worth it. If winning this match, winning the world title, was worth the burden that comes with it. Now normally I'd be quick to answer that, but I had to believe that you already knew what I would say, and that there's a reason why you would ask me such a thing after all that we've gone through to get to this point. So I decided to wait and let that question sit on my mind for a while. I've carried a lot of burdens on my shoulders coming this far, whether it was the choices that I made or the responsibilities that I put upon myself. I've felt the weight of all of it, and it hasn't been easy. And I'll admit it, that there have been times that I've wondered what I was fighting for, if all of this was worth the struggle, the pain, and the stress that some of it's brought to me. So to answer your question, RD, is it worth it? You're goddamn right it's worth it. I'd do it all over again if I had the chance. I didn't go through hell and high water to come so close to the finish line just to call it quits. I go into this match knowing that I could lose, because I know as well as anyone just how good you can be, RD. You're cunning, you're quick. Every move you make hits hard and fast. You're the proverbial son of the snake. Yeah. I know a lot about that man that mentored you, RD. I know that he's proud of you. In a way, you and I are sort of like Solid Snake and Gray Fox. Neither enemies nor friends, and yet both at the same time. We're like the snake and the fox, coming to blows in Zanzibar, in the middle of a minefield, fighting to certain death, but neither one fighting out of hatred. I don't hate you, RD, not in the least. I may not agree 100% with some of your choices, but you've stuck to them without looking back, and I can respect that. I don't know what kind of match that the DWI will put us in for our final battle, RD, but no matter what, I swear to you that I will do my best to make it the biggest match of both of our careers. One last time, RD, my enemy, my friend, the best of luck to you. Until then.